Can I speak with you for a minute, please?
Let me just finish doing some lunch.
Okay. So I was looking over a scan that you did last week, and I'm just not sure what you were thinking when you took some of those images. They were not diagnostic quality at all.
Okay, which case are you referring to?
It was just an abdomen scan that you did last week. I'm not really sure the specifics.
And could you tell me what was wrong
They
so I can
were-
improve?
They were just a mess.
Like,
Like, you need to be more careful, and make sure that you're making the proper adjustments.
like in terms of gain or windows, or?
It was just really bad. I don't want to see that happen again.
Okay,
Okay?
sure.
Okay.
Receive.
I'm not quite sure. It wasn't really specific, so I'm not sure what she's referring to in the case or the reasons why she didn't like the images that I took.
Okay, and how did this conversation motivate you?
It really didn't. It really bummed me out, and it made me feel like I'm doing nothing right. She just put me down and didn't really give me any advice on how to improve.
Okay, so after this feedback, do you have any plans on how you're going to improve?
I don't really know. The best I can do is just spend extra time reevaluating my images from what I learned in school. She didn't really tell me how to improve, and it would have been nice if she were able to point out the specific case and the quality of the images.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel comfortable with how this feedback was given?
No, not really. She interrupted me during my lunch break in front of friends and colleagues. I felt like this should have been done in private.
Hi, Shelby.
You told me you wanted to talk with me.
Yeah, do you want to just pull up a chair? Sure. How's your day going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I just wanted to talk to you about a scan that I came across that you did last week. Let me just bring up the images here.
Okay.
It was when you were dealing with Mr. Smith,
Okay.
and some of these photos, they just aren't of the best diagnostic quality.
Okay.
If you look here, the gains aren't set appropriately, so it looks like there's something down here that could have been missed. On this next one, you could have adjusted the TGCs a little bit better. And then in some of the other ones, the focus wasn't just at the center of the screen, so that's what we're trying to do here.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No questions. Now that I know what you'd like to see improved, I can make
Okay.
sure that I double check for that.
Okay. Other than this, you're doing a really great job, okay? And I'm really proud of the progress
Okay.
that you're making.
Thank you very much.
So what feedback did you just receive?
There were a couple issues with some of the images I took on a certain case. My focus could have been adjusted a little bit more appropriately, as well as gains in TGCs in a few of my pictures. So now that I know that, I can double check and make sure they're to the best that I can produce.
Okay, do you feel this conversation motivated you?
Absolutely, feel like it was positive. I did get some good things said about my work at the same time, and it was narrowed down to a specific case and few specific details that I could fix versus just being like, yeah, this was shit.
Okay, so after this feedback, you've mentioned a few things you're going to improve on. Is there any other things you plan to improve on after this?
Well, other than the specific things, I'll obviously do more quality controls and quality checks for all the other things that I do to produce my images. I do want to take proper diagnostic images, so I'll just be double checking and looking at a few specific things for sure.
Okay, and do you feel comfortable with how this feedback was given?
Absolutely. I feel like the tone was positive. There was a good mixture of positive and negative feedback, and it was a private conversation as well.
Hey, Kels, do you have a few minutes right now to talk?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So I just wanted to do a little evaluation, just see how you're doing so far. So just in your last appointment, how do you feel things went?
It was fine.
It was
I
fine?
did a good job. I know I did.
Okay, you did a ton of things good. Is there anything you think you could have improved on?
No.
Okay. I'm more referring to in specifics, like the dialogue between you and the patient. Do you feel like everything went smoothly there?
They were kind of annoying, but
Okay.
I think I knew how to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did express some concern as well after. She was pretty upset
About
after.
what?
She just mentioned that it made her feel like you were kind of belittling her and talking down to her, especially when you called her an idiot.
Okay, we're back in business.
Okay.
Hey, Kels, can I talk to you for a minute?
sorry. Okay.
I just go from.
Go.
Okay. I think she just expressed to me that she just kind of said that she felt like you were talking down to her. She just didn't feel good about the appointment. She said you felt like it seemed like you were really
She had
frustrated.
no idea what she was talking about.
Yeah. I know it can be frustrating. I think we just have to keep in mind that they don't have the same schooling that you do. You have been to school for 2 years. You do definitely know what you're talking about by now. And I think a lot of it is just kind of like our tone when we talk to patients. And then just to making sure that we do all I can to make them feel comfortable. Does that make sense?
Well, I've been doing this for a while now, and I've never had this issue before, so
Mhm.
I think that she was the problem.
How
for
did you
sure.
feel that situation played out?
Not very well, to be honest. She seemed really defensive and that she really didn't want to talk to me. She seemed pretty judgmental of the patients and she wasn't really willing to admit that she'd done anything wrong, and she really didn't hear what I want to say. She wasn't friendly, and so that made me in turn not really want to feel like I wanted to help her or continue giving feedback. I just felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere with her. Hey,
Do you-
can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
Okay,
What's
perfect.
up?
I just wanted to talk to you about your last appointment. How did you feel it went?
It could have been better. I
Okay.
was kind of having some communication issues with the patient.
Okay.
It seemed that she was really close-minded towards the appointment and was kind of
Mhm.
trying to argue the entire time. I tried my best
Yeah.
to communicate with her in a way that would make her feel comfortable, and I tried to not be necessarily arguing back with her, but
Mhm.
I kind of had a difficult time with that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I know you. You're good at communicating. We can always have a good communication. When I talked to her, just one thing that she mentioned is she just said she didn't really understand everything. So I think just one thing is, for us, we've been to school for how many years? We're used to communicating in our terms,
Mhm.
but they don't really understand those terms.
Okay.
So sometimes it just helps to even just dumb it down and put it really
For
simply
sure.
to her.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure everything else. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
I
you have any other
definitely
questions?
don't want any patients to leave feeling frustrated. So
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that that appointment went that way. But yeah, I'll definitely work on how I communicate with them in the future.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
How do you think your student received your feedback?
I thought she received it really well. She was super approachable. She wasn't defensive. She seemed like she was really interested in listening to what I had to say. She asked me questions, which confirmed mutual understanding. She kind of summarized after and reflected what I said to make sure that she got it right. And it just seemed like really open, honest dialogue, and it seemed like she really wanted to improve from it.